What's up, everybody? Welcome to Office Hours. This is, I guess, episode 2, and I'm here in my living room. We're going to have a nice conversation today with Zack, who is honestly one of my favorite filmmakers. He's actually a good friend of mine now. I've got the privilege to meet up with him, hang out. He's actually been at my house before, which is sick. And Zack is just a genius when it comes to short form content, Instagram master with videos. So I'm sure you've probably seen a lot of his work. If not, definitely give him a follow. And we're going to have a chat with him. And this whole thing is really just to let you know, MIFF, the film festival that we run, is still happening. We're still super excited about it. It's obviously going all online now. So we're stoked, and we're doing these weekly chats to get you inspired and just let you know you got plenty of time to submit still. June 7th is the deadline to submit those films. So check it out in the description or wherever the link is to check out our website. But yeah, MIFF's going to be sick. So let's get Zack on the chat, and you guys can ask him questions, and we'll talk to him about his creative process.
Let me know when I'm on.
Are you on?
Am I here?
I don't know. I think so.
Amazing.
All right. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, let's get into it. What should we talk about?
Yeah, you are
Cameras.
on. Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to say a huge thanks to our sponsors for this year's film festival again. I just want to give them a shout out. But yeah, thanks for making it happen still. Without the sponsors, this probably wouldn't go on. And then this whole chat is powered by Creative Live. So that's why we have this cool split screen, Zack, and we're able to chat easily. And yeah, so hopefully people are enjoying this. Welcome. All right. Yeah, man. Your hair's looking epic as ever.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a bad quarantine decision, but yeah, it's growing out.
I think it looks good, man. You look super like edgy and like creative.
That's what I'm going for. That's it. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Dude, just like, where were you born? What's your father's name?
Oh, I've got to introduce myself. Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
You've done a great job. You've done a great job of introducing me. But yeah, so I live in the UK. It's late here right now. It's midnight. It's actually already Friday. Come on. Just a filmmaker. Kind of started off making a lot of videos for fun through like BMXing and skateboarding, which I feel like is a common thing. I don't know if you started through like you definitely skateboard. But yeah, I feel a lot of filmmakers kind of come through some kind of medium of extreme sports and overlap to filmmaking.
You kind of just like someone has a camera, someone's parents has a camera, and you want to film your tricks or your shenanigans, and then you you're the guy with the camera.
100%. So that kind of happened through like my school years, and then just got super into filmmaking. Kind of like fell in love with the process, got really into making those videos look as good as possible. So kind of grew to where I am now. I guess fast forward into I'm 25 and full-time filmmaker for the past 5 or 6 years.
So
5 years, let's say 5 years. Obviously different levels of full-time. There's obviously the years where you're barely making any money, but you're having fun doing it. Just kind of specializing in short form media content. So we've actually got a company called Even that I run with my brother-in-law, Ollie. Hello, mate. And just run a video production company over here in the UK, and we love it.
The first time I saw most of your work was just like on Instagram, and you were posting a video literally every day for I think a year.
Yeah, so that was my kind of just getting as much out as I possibly could. I just wanted to be. I was at a stage where I was kind of like frustrated because the projects that I wanted to be coming in weren't coming in, I guess. So I was like, I just need to go and shoot these things, like these ideas that I want to shoot that I haven't paired with a client or a particular job yet. I just want to go and shoot. So I decided I'd make a video every day. Yeah. And at that time, I guess there was like always people doing like daily photo challenges. And I was well, I'm not a photographer, but I'm a filmmaker. So I'll try out going daily videos.
Do you think that doing that, like basically forcing the creative every day helped you? Because the stuff you make now is so like creatively thought out, where the shot, it might feel simple, but it's like the concept prior to actually going out and shooting. It's not just like, oh, the light's good, let's go find something to shoot pretty B-roll of. It's like you find that, like, I don't know, the thing on the Ferris wheel or the thing on the pier, and then the way you move the camera. Like, do you think about all that prior?
It's like half and half in terms of sometimes I'm like super inspired by what's in front of me, so I'll just make sure that I'm out at that time of day. So like sometimes it is literally me just running out because the sun's nice, and I'm like, cool, I want to shoot something, and I don't know what, and it turns into me hanging out with friends when we could hang out with friends and shooting something. But yeah, I think more of the kind of especially recently, I've been doing a lot of like kind of locked off shots that are like more thought out beforehand. And I'm like, okay, I just want this one shot, and I want to either like manipulate it in a way so it moves and tracks something, or I like kind of duplicating myself at the moment because I've got no one else to be in my videos and stuff like that. I think a lot of those ideas, yeah, are like thought before, and it's kind of that's what I love about making daily videos, where like the video you made last week is the kind of stem of the idea that you're making this week, and it's kind of like you're constantly providing yourself with like a source of inspiration rather than having to like go out and seek it. You're like accidentally stumbling across it because you're in this like regular kind of workflow of always creating. But then on the flip side, it's that thing where like creativity can't be forced all of the time, so you need to allow yourself a bit of break with that as well, and be like, oh, if I don't want to make a video today, or there's literally nothing to shoot, maybe I shouldn't shoot.
Yeah. What would you say to a beginner that's trying to exercise that creative muscle, whether it's they want to make videos that look like yours, or they have an idea about a video they want to make, or short form content? What would you say is like a good starting exercise?
I think 100% just go out and shoot anything. Like literally, I'm a big fan of like not really forcing like moments too much. So I'll just go out and film like people or things that are going on, and kind of see if they piece together in the edit. A lot of that stuff's unplanned, and I'm just filming life.
Yeah.
So I'll like when I was in New York just before COVID, I kind of like was there for a shoot, and then on the last day I just walked around for like 2 hours and just like filmed traffic, filmed lights changing, and then like made like a fun little edit that kind of like took me through the city, and kind of like yes, doing stuff like that where you're just out shooting with the camera as much as possible is the best way to kind of get into it. And I guess you look at that, you should look at filmmaking or any kind of creative outlet in the same way as you look at like any kind of physical exercise, where like to be at the level that you want to be and to be like the the fittest runner or the like best, I don't know,
the most swole bro.
The most, yeah. Then you need to be like you need to be putting the time in before that moment. So like you don't want to be waiting for an opportunity to make something. You want to be going and making stuff before
figuring it out, doing a bunch of tweaks itself. And like figuring out your style. 100%. That's awesome, man. Yeah, if anyone is just joining us, this is Zack Lauer. You can check out his work. What is Instagram.com/Zack Lauer?
Yeah, Zack is spelled Z-A-C-H.
Okay.
And Lauer is, well, it's lower over here, but L-O-W-E-R.
Lower. My bad.
Bit of odd spelling. No, that's cool. You called it right the first time, so I was like...
Yeah. But yeah, we're just chatting through like how he thinks about shooting creatively. And this, again, is office hours. So stoked to have you here. So everyone who's in the comments, leave comments, ask questions. We will get to those kind of towards the end of the chat, but just breaking down Zack's process. So yeah, man. Okay, so going into like the Moment Film Festivals thing we do every year, and this year it's no different. We have 5 categories, and they're basically just short films, all mobile specific. This year we did open it up to a drone category just because we think there's some cool opportunities there.
Yeah.
You haven't actually made a MIFF, like a Moment Invitational film, but you have shot a bunch on your phone. Is there like...
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you would approach filming like cinematic shots, or almost more like, I guess, like how would you go about doing that, or like what are some techniques you would do?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess if we want to like break down what a cinematic shot is, obviously it's a shot that has, I find like the more cinematic the shot is when there's kind of more depth going on in it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are shooting a shallow depth of field and everything's nice, and not like that is something that makes it look cinematic, but also depth in terms of like colors and contrast and kind of where the light's falling, and composition of a shot, all just like kind of help make that one image kind of click in a way that you're like, oh, this looks cinematic, which is the used phrase. But yeah, I definitely like to chase the natural light. I'll always think of like what the light's doing, where it's hitting. I'm very, very big fan of blue hour at the moment. So kind of like just after sunset, where you're getting those like amazing rich blues in the sky. It's kind
The
of,
best.
I'm all about it at the moment. It is a task to shoot on phone sometimes, but I shot some stuff yesterday actually, and yeah, when nature's that beautiful, it looks good on anything. So
Yeah, no, that's
so
so true.
picking the time of day and the kind of color palette is quite important. And also I think just not being too rigid or like scared of movement with your camera. So I like whenever I'll go on like an unplanned adventure, I don't generally bring a rig or like a gimbal or anything like that. I try and go as minimal as possible and just have the camera body or the phone and like a little lens. And it's kind of like embracing the shake and embracing the movement kind of helps, depending on what you're trying to shoot, especially helps like bring the right energy to that shot. So if you're doing a chase scene or an action scene, or like I film a lot of like BMX and skateboarding and stuff, and that's kind of, there's a lot of movement in that. So it's kind of picking a movement that complements your like subject that you're shooting, I guess.
Yeah.
Is kind of, yeah, I think it might take a lot of thinking of like deliberately kind of breaking down shot types and what you want to shoot, how you'd like to shoot something at first, but you definitely kind of get into your own flow and learn, like you learn what you think works, if that makes sense. So you kind of like, it becomes a bit of like a reflex where you're like, okay, I can see this shot, like this will look amazing if I have a real nice slow kind of dolly in for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and you can like already begin to like picture that shot and how it's going to come out. So kind of, yeah, experimenting with movement. It's like I do a lot of, for sure. At the moment, I'm at a very static phase. I'm loving tripod shots. So yeah,
with some good digital zoom.
Oh yeah, all the digital zoom. So yeah, my camera's my bigger camera when I'm not shooting my phone shoots 6K now, which obviously you've got the same. So I'm all about that digi zoom, just in and in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun, man. Yeah, I mean, phones are so impressive too. The ability to shoot 4K. I mean, the low light's getting better and better. It's like at some point, like there's not gonna be an excuse for the gear, really. Like,
100%.
especially if you like for a mobile film festival, you're leveling the playing field more or less already by having that requirement. So it's pretty fun, dude. I mean, we've gotten some films in the last couple of years that are just, it like doesn't make sense how they look that good. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's
I
pretty
remember
cool.
one there was one film, I think it was last year's one, but it was like some tracking shots through trees of like a real nice classic car kind of coming towards camera.
Yeah.
And it's just like, as soon as you nail like motion blur on a phone, then you basically can't tell the difference if it's like a phone camera or a camera.
Yeah, that was David and Philippe's film, so shout out to them if they're seeing this. That was epic. And they, I think too, another point that I wanted to ask you about was, like whenever I watch your content, I don't really love that word, but whenever I watch your like short films, I always feel like there's so much emotion, even if it's in like the smallest. I'm watching on my phone usually. It's like such a small little screen. It's a short video, but I still feel like there's so much emotion in everything you make. Maybe it's like all the movement you do, or is it the sound? I mean, like, what are some of those? How do you get that feeling?
So I think a big part of it, hopefully, if you do watch it with sound, is the kind of the sound design brings a lot to it. So whether it's like, you want to create a nice ambient, peaceful kind of landscape shot, then if you get the kind of the diegetic sounds that you would hear in that scene of like birds kind of chirping and stuff like that, it definitely it hones your ears and your eyes into the same thing. So like I do focus quite a lot on the kind of sound I use, or music. I want to make sure the music really complements the visuals, or the visuals complement the music. A lot of the time I'm inspired by a song, so I'll go out and shoot with that song in mind. So yeah, like sound's really important, which actually is amazing because the best sound recorder I do have when I'm out is my phone. Like the actual sound quality of my iPhone is ridiculous. So I'll often pair that up with my camera if I want to get like nice real sounds. Like even if someone's walking along a stony beach and you just want to be able to pick up that sound, you can literally pick it up on your phone and it works really well.
That's so cool.
So yeah, trying to roll sound as much as possible. Never.
That's interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah, never try and cut the sound out because it doesn't. I feel like it always adds something. Even like, if you hear wind, it kind of like within reason. It just helps them. It's like basically it's accessing more of the humans, the viewers' senses when they're watching it. So you want to kind of make the most of that and think of it as
draws
a
you in
way of
even more.
telling a story. 100%.
That's awesome.
What other ways, I guess, do I try and make a video compelling?
I feel like sometimes, I was gonna say, like, what I've noticed too about some of your work is like you're not afraid to get like quite close with your camera to a subject. Whether that's the cars or your girlfriend or any, it's just like you really have you do a good job about like getting like in the shot, and then if not, it's like this perfect wide of something. So camera movement and stuff, it all plays into it.
I think I kind of I like to get as close as possible, because that's also where you can kind of get the create the most depth, the kind of like the shallow depth of field that everyone loves. When you're closer is it just like kind of works nice. And to really, I generally shoot a lot more close-ups than wides. I actually do, like, I used to come home from a shoot quite often and be like, I have literally shot nothing wide, and I probably should have. Like, it's definitely I just like I think getting kind of close into something and really even if you don't think you're going to use it in the edit, it's really, really good to get like kind of close-ups of anything that's going on, because you might just want to cut away to one kind of flower blowing in the wind or something in your sequence, or like something like that, or a foot walking like off a curb. Little shots like that you can always do with. I also quite enjoy the good old whip transition. So kind of like bending everything in. It's obviously a very popular style on YouTube, especially at the moment. But so kind of I get into a bit of a rhythm of kind of trying to make the camera constantly flow and move into the next shot. So I'll always think like, okay, after this, do I want to whip it right and kind of like pull out behind like a wall in the next shot or something like that. I'm kind of thinking of transitions ahead of time, which I think definitely helps like kind of piece the story together as well and flow a narrative. You don't really want to put too many cuts in, because it can be a bit jarring if scenes are always changing.
So what would be like a good way so that somebody could potentially think through pre-production as well, like when they're kind of concepting a short film on their phone? Like, do you have any tips for kind of thinking before you necessarily just go out and start making something? Or how would you kind of do that?
So before I go out and shoot something, I would scroll for inspiration. If I don't have my idea yet, I'll use like Vimeo is a great place for just getting inspired. Even if you're watching things that you're not going to go and shoot, but you can still see a great video of the mountains and you live in the countryside, and you're like, the way they've shot this is amazing. I like the use of wide angle lenses in this. And then it kind of inspires you. You're like, oh, what could I shoot on a super wide angle where I am? I've got like, I don't know, the woods and the trees are really tall. I want to make something about trees. As in you can get little bits of inspiration from anything. And then if I have an idea, I'll definitely kind of start drawing in my book. Even just kind of like framing ideas and stuff like that, and movement. I'll like write notes. I found really helpful to kind of listen to music and write ideas, which I try and do as often as possible. If you want to go,
share with us some of those ideas. What have you actually written down? I want to hear now.
Do you want me to look for my notepad? There's a lot of
you don't have to look.
Oh, I do kind of want to show you. It's in the other room.
Yeah, let's see it.
But I'll grab it.
All right. Again, if anyone is just joining us, this is Office Hours. We're going to do weekly chats with different filmmakers leading up to the deadline of the Moment Invitational Film Festival, which is a mobile film festival. You guys are all invited. There's a bunch of great sponsors. I'm doing literally a commercial right now, but I'm stoked on it. That's the thing. I'm super excited about this festival. We literally are giving away, there's 2 grand prize winners, $10,000 each. This is like real money to win. Oh, did you just hear all that in your headphones? You did. I'm sorry, Zach.
Oh yeah, I'm linked in. I can hear.
Of course.
I appreciate that.
And this is Zach.
I can't find my flipping notebook. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Zach's looking for his notebook.
Write your ideas down, and
I really like that.
If you're actually ready to go into like a full-on storyboarding stage of your idea as well, there's a online app I use called Milanote. Have you used it?
No.
Milanote. And it's like just the best for kind of storyboarding and kind of putting your ideas in one place. and then collaborating with other people on those ideas as well. But yeah, this is my notebook where I put all my ideas in as well, and I either write them, or this one is a camera rig I want to build out of an old bike crank, and I think I could get the camera kind of spinning on the bike crank to get some really cool shots. So I'm trying to, any idea like that,
I love it, dude.
This is, so I shot a video. I don't know if I can get you a link for it, but this is one of the videos that I shot where I'm kind of like duplicated doing lots of tricks on like a corner section of a skate park. So I kind of wrote down the tricks that I want to do and how I think they'd kind of all work, that I can miss myself well enough to then mask around and make it work.
Yeah.
So I
saw that one. I mean,
you saw it?
I saw one where you were biking a bunch and you masked yourself a whole bunch.
Yeah, I think I've done one or two. I do, but that kind of like method I've used, a bunch of times now because I just really enjoy it. It's good fun.
That's amazing. What was the name of? What was the name one more time of the app? Was it Mila, MILANOTE?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. I'll drop that in the YouTube chat, Milanote.
Yeah. And I think it's free for the first like however many scripts you want to write, kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah, and I find it really, really helpful to
sun's coming out.
Like put ideas in one place like that.
I think that's super cool. So like whenever you just get inspired by like a movement you see, whether that's you're watching that or listen to music and you think about it, that's really awesome to put that down. That's awesome, man. I'm trying to like, I don't like have a ton of questions for you because like we've hung out before. Like I've shot with you and but what would you? It's like when I think of you or your name, really, when it comes to filmmaking, not just that you're a super nice guy and fun to hang out with. Would you say like Zack, like what is your style? Like when did you know you had like a style?
Yeah, I don't.
Because you do.
I guess, I have to. Everyone has a style.
Yeah.
Of course. I think my style is more just driven around being a bit of like a, not like a fly on the wall, but a little bit of, I like to create an environment or like invite friends and make something happen, but then take a step back and kind of capture it in a bit of like a low-key way. I really like how I feel a bit uncomfortable when people are aware the camera's there, so I don't want them to feel uncomfortable, and it makes me feel uncomfortable if people feel like they have to do something. So I've never really like directed people, but I've more kind of created an environment and then shot what I want within that. Obviously it's hard when you have like a full-on narrative you want to shoot. You have to tell people what's what and where to be. Right. But yeah, I think my style is probably quite very driven by my surroundings and kind of nature or busy kind of cities and stuff like that is what I love. I love filming in. If I've got someone to shoot with, I'll kind of build a bit of an idea around them based on what they're kind of good at. I really enjoy making films about people's craft as well. So like I've got friends who are like woodworkers or artists, and like painters, and all I want to do is film them because I'm like, what you do is amazing, and I love capturing you doing exactly what you do.
Nice.
So yeah, I guess that's kind of, don't know if that's a style though. That's just a preference.
Yeah, no, that's the fly on the wall. Like, I mean, I kind of see what you mean, or just like you're capturing the environment from how you see it or how you like think a cool way to show it off is. Yeah, that's rad, man. Or like a little.
The way. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The way I guess I kind of like to shoot it is, just kind of, I until recently I said I've been using like kind of experimenting with static shots and trying to let more action happen within those frames. But I really, just kind of embracing camera movement. I do like a bit of camera shake. So kind of, always having the camera moving. I think actually I probably got it because your videos have always been so like lovely and flowing and always like that nice handheld feel. And you've got like I think you had the C100.
Yep, C100 for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I think at the time I was probably shooting on either like a Canon DSLR or like the A7S, and I feel like handheld didn't quite work on them, but on the C100 it looks super lovely.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I probably nabbed that from you.
Yeah, no. We've been streaming for a little bit. I know this chat is supposed to be about 30 minutes, so we do want to kind of keep the time frame going. But I do want to answer some chat questions, if that's cool. I can like scrub through them real quick and just ask you. Um,
Sounds great. Yeah.
what's up, everybody? Thank you for writing messages in the chat too. It's pretty sick that you're hanging out with us on, especially if you're in the UK and it's past midnight now. Can you actually shoot a successful short film with absolutely no equipment or attachments but your iPhone or your smartphone? For sure.
Yes. You can even edit it on your phone. Like honestly, I've been playing a lot with video editing software. Do you want me to? I can maybe link you a couple. There's two. There's Adobe Rush, which is Premiere Rush, it's called, and there's an app called Video Leap as well.
Cool.
And I've actually played around with kind of editing, and I think there's pretty much no excuse not to make a video. If you literally don't have a computer and you only have a phone, shoot in the moment app, big up, and then edit in Adobe Rush, and then color grade it in Visco, and then you've got good film. Yeah,
we can leave some links. I'll put some links in the description when we're done too, if you don't want to watch back, or if they're watching us on playback.
Yeah, I think like you briefly mentioned earlier, like there's just no excuse anymore for phones not to kind of give the desired outcome. They're just so good, and like you can shoot 4K. The lenses on them are just like super sharp. When I especially with photos, when you kind of like punch it on a phone photo, you're like, this is ridiculous. So actually, if you want super sharp video, shoot it all in stop motion, and then you've got some
frames.
Yeah.
Do you use anamorphic lens?
I use on my phone. I do.
I guess on whatever. Yeah. You have one of the moment
anamorphic lens. I've got the moment one that you very kindly gave me, which is amazing. Thanks again. So I've shot on that alone, and I love it. I really want to actually shoot anamorphic drone stuff with my phone, so I'm trying to figure out how to get my phone onto a drone. I could just get the anamorphic lens for the Mavic, but this way is more fun. But I want to shoot. I do want to experiment with some iPhone drone video soon.
Nice.
So that'll probably be shot on the anamorphic lens, but don't have one for my actual camera, unfortunately.
Do you think it would be smooth, or would you like somehow stabilize it, or do you think it'd be too jello-y?
I think, so it would be like on an FPV drone, I think is the current.
Oh, epic. Yeah, yep.
I've got a friend who is a very talented pilot. So we were chatting a little bit about, what could we do with an iPhone?
Wow, that's rad.
Hopefully something will come out of it soon. But the stabilization software is ridiculous. So I think it would need some stabilizing. Hopefully it won't get that kind of jello-y effect though, because I guess with the phone it's so flat that when you're flying, there's so much resistance on the body that it's kind of, you need to make sure the phone's super sturdy.
Yeah, might need some foam or something. I don't know.
Is that how you do it? The foam around it?
No, I don't fly a phone in the sky. But that's how we started. Skate films. Everything's DIY for a while, and then you're like, maybe I can afford a piece of gear that actually does the thing properly that I wanted to do. Let's see here. A couple more questions. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat. There's not a ton right now, but do you recreate scenes? I'm not sure what that means.
I think I kind of get that. As in kind of film scenes that I like, maybe. I think there is a style of I think it was years ago. Did you ever used to watch Film Riot on YouTube?
Yeah.
And I think they did. I think they did like a challenge or an episode about kind of like taking a film scene and kind of reworking it and shooting it, or if you're really into sound, taking that film scene, getting rid of all the sound, and then putting your own score on it. I think stuff like that's really helpful for kind of figuring out how they make it and breaking it down, almost like reverse. Dissecting it and figuring out how everything.
You know who actually does an incredible job at that, which is like obviously a huge company and everything, but it's Saturday Night Live. Have you seen what Saturday Night Live is?
Yeah.
They will do like a lot of mock films, but like the way that their crew is shooting it looks so good every time. It's so believable, and then the acting's just funny, and so it's pretty sick.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So I think definitely if there's a scene that you like, definitely go ahead. And it's a hard one though, because then it's that kind of like ripping off someone's work. But I think with like films and stuff, it's totally fine. But I think try not to, if you're inspired by something and you want to recreate it and you have an intention of publishing that, maybe try not to recreate work, but rather than like draw inspiration and build it into your own idea, if that makes sense. So I think there's two forms. If you're looking at it as like a practice sense, like go and shoot, go and try and reshoot The Revenant with your
yeah, totally. Natural light. Hey, they shot with natural light. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, Zach. Well, we're at 30 minutes now. I have one more question for you. People have, from this time this stream's going out, let me see, 2.5 weeks before our submissions are due, which is June 7th. And then we're having our online premiere, which is going to be fun, on June 28th. But what would your piece of advice be for someone that has 2.5 weeks to shoot and submit a film?
2.5 weeks is almost too much time. So definitely just go out. Yeah, go out and like see, like, it depends how you want to roll. If you have an idea, go shoot that. At the moment, I guess people are quite limited to space and resources, but definitely just go shoot something and see what happens. Like, shoot around your house. I've made a couple of films just of one particular thing in my house, and I've found it super fun and satisfying. So just go, shoot anything, make anything.
Well, dude, thank you so much for joining on this live chat. Maybe we'll do this again in the future.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to also hang out again sometime in the near future.
Definitely. You owe me a visit. You need to come over here.
I did, yeah. You did. You visited here last. That was pretty sick. But thanks for hopping on this. Hopefully it helps people out. And if you guys enjoyed this, definitely leave some love in the comments. And follow Zach's Instagram if you're not. You'll be inspired all the time. Your stories even are super fun. You take so much time to do that. So
I do spend a lot of time, maybe too much, on just general.
We take breaks here and there. That's okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say, Zach, to the moment of viewers?
No, just good luck. If you are entering the competition, then good luck with it. I hope hope your films come together, and I'm excited to watch them all. What's the date that the festival is on?
Yeah, so we're having the online festival.
It's online, isn't it?
Yep. It's June 28th. June 26th, we're doing like an online filmmaker workshop all day. So we have some teachers. That's kind of like a thing where you can pay for, and you're going to get access to like Zoom calls, but also pre-recorded stuff from some awesome filmmakers. So more learning stuff. So I would encourage anyone to check out all the links in the description. And then, the film festival, we're going to host it like kind of like a mini run version of the Oscars, where we'll actually be premiering all the finalists for the first time that night and letting people know who won. So we're going to hopefully have some big checks, and it's going to be sick. So 28. It's going to be pretty late for you though, so might have to send you a coffee.
No, I'll be there no matter what. Online, in bed.
Yeah, totally. In. All right, man. Well, hopefully you have a great night. Thanks again.
No worries at all. Yeah, enjoy your afternoon. I'll catch up with you soon.
Dude.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.